Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Welcome to another effort on working on some of these custom diecasts today. I want to work on this Michael Annett Pilot Flying J 2018 car. And, well, I'm looking here. I got no water in my bowl. Hold on a second. It's hard to dip decals in water when you don't have water in your bowl. So, alright, we got some water. I just washed it out to make sure that I'm just working with some clean water. So I got this side done, and I started by, I put the hood decal in place, the roof decal, and then this is like one big piece across here. As you can see, this decal, it's one large piece. And unfortunately, I have this gap here, right across here. So it's a little bit more prominent when you turn the car. So I need to fill that in. I need to get a strip of this red decal and fill that in. You know, when you have this piece here and it comes over the top, I trimmed it so that it would fit across the top, but I trimmed it too much, and now I have a little bit of a gap there. So my plan, little dubious plan here. So this is, so I tend to try to make two cars at the same time of the same, just for this purpose, right? I made a mistake, so I pre-painted this red. So yeah, it's not going to look that great on this car, but at least that'll cover that up on both sides in case I have that problem. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically trim this the same way. Actually, this piece here, you can see I cut it across here, and I'm just going to take this strip here off of this decal set and put it on there. So that's my plan, at least. But as you can see on these Xfinity Camaros, it just, the decal set just doesn't line up for the body. I mean, look at this big ridge here. It's not too bad across here, but then another big ridge over the wheel well. It's like they didn't get that designed right. So obviously, you know, I'm matching it up with the, you know, I'm matching it up across here to make sure this lines up. This lines up nicely. The way that the decal set is. If I can grab this little piece, you know, is going to go right here, and it actually lines up pretty good there. But again, the work on this side, just around the wheel wells, it's not even close. So not sure why that's the case, but that is the case. So and then this back is a little short, comes up just a little short on that area right there. So this comes around, wraps around just a little bit, but it doesn't really line up very well there. So we'll see how it lines up on this side. So my plan is, I had already cut off some of these smaller pieces here along the bottom, and this side piece here, so I can space those pieces underneath this. But I need to get this piece trimmed out, especially right here along this edge where the spoiler is. One of the things I did do is I did pre-paint before I put this plastic windows back in. I painted it black around here. That way, if I have any little gap, the white doesn't show through, the black will show through. So you can see how that turned out over here. Turned out pretty good. I don't see any white, and just a little bit of extra black along here, but not too bad. So you can see along this edge here, it's all black across here. So that's nice, and it's not white. Same thing along here. I painted a little bit of the black across here. But if I have anything exposed, I don't want the white to show through. I want it to be black. In this case, it'll be red. It's not a perfect match to the decal, but that's just the way it is. The other thing was I did paint black along here because this comes up ever so slightly short. So that is black as well. And you have to be careful because you can't paint the whole roof black because the white lettering will show the darker surface underneath. So it's hard to see on camera. Maybe you can see a little bit here. If you see, there's a little bit of the darker piece on the back side than that. But yeah, so that's what we've got. So I'm going to put this piece on, and then one of the last pieces I'll put on is this back piece, because that Pilot Flying J is, yeah, I'm not sure exactly how best to do this. If I want to go over top of this thing, or if I just want to trim it and have it be, yeah, I don't know. I'll tackle that later. But I want to get this piece on first. So I like to cut this here just so I can kind of move this around when I get it on. So that's kind of how I do these long pieces. I cut right along there. Then I come in and I cut out the paper here. I cut out that little B pillar so I can put that on separately. So that is that lines up the way that it needs to, because if you leave it on here, it doesn't always line up with exactly where it needs to go, and you don't want to put it over top of the windows. So I cut that out separately. Alright, so let's see how this looks here. I know my points are here on the front here, but I also want it to line up back here as best as I can. So let's see if that, and then I've got this here. Yeah. So I think I'll be able to get that to line up here, and then to be as close as possible on this back side. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down here pretty far. And then, yeah. That overhang just a little bit there. Okay. I can always just put a little piece in that little corner if I need to. And I did it on the other side, just a little tiny piece to cover up some white that was showing through. Okay. and see how that's going to fold right there. Okay. I saw Kyle Busch win the other day, Texas, and that crazy 3-day rain delay. And he won in that Zombies Skittles car. I know some of you guys are fans of Kyle Busch. He's kind of a polarizing figure, but I think that paint scheme is really cool. I have to be honest. I'm not really a big Skittles person. I mean, they're okay. But, and I'm not usually a big Halloween, I'm not really, big on celebrating Halloween. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, Halloween was awesome. Yeah, that was back in the day when you actually got, like, homemade, I remember getting homemade caramel apples and homemade popcorn balls. Yeah, back in the day when you could kind of trust people and their baking and it was really neat. And also we got full size candy bars. I mean full size, not the little fun size. There's not a whole lot of fun there. The full size candy bars. And no kidding, I remember taking my pillowcase and getting it like half full and barely being able to carry it because it was so heavy with candy. And, bringing them back and sharing them with my dad, and my dad would get a little bit of candy from all of us kids, and it was just fun. It was just a lot of fun. Yeah, nowadays has gotten a little bit older. It's not as exciting as it used to be. But nonetheless, I feel like watching the race, I feel like I've got to go out and try some of these zombie Skittles. So we'll see. We'll see if I can do that maybe later today. Head over to Walmart and see if they've got them. But it will be also interesting as a custom diecast maker to see if they are going to release that in 1/64 scale. I'd be really surprised if they didn't. I mean, it's Kyle Busch's only win this year. Just as an update, Terry, your cars were shipped, so you should get those today, or I've already have them maybe. A couple Pertex cars that I made that I'll be listing on eBay. John, obviously you've got this Michael Annett number 5, Pilot Flying J. Here's what the principal car looks like. Just putting some coats of sealer on it. I've also got to paint the spoiler here, but these two cars came out pretty nice, fairly straightforward. Painting them blue and then applying the decals around them. Not overly difficult, but a sharp looking car nonetheless. So yeah, those are another day or so sealing and doing some final touch up, and they'll be ready to go. I've already mentioned these Crown Royal cars, so once I get these done for John, Mr. MR, your cars are up next, so I'll be working those. Probably start painting the underbodies and starting to tear down those cars, get those dipped in the stripper and moving forward. So yeah, looking forward to getting that all done, and trying to fulfill some of these requests here before too long. My brother has invited me to go hunting with him next week, so I may be out a couple days as we may go hunting. Hunted a lot when I was a teenager and early 20s. But I haven't really picked it up in Virginia here as much. I was, I'm originally from Pennsylvania, and so you grow up in kind of western PA. A lot of people hunt. Obviously, central PA is a lot of deer hunting going on. So my brother still goes up to Pennsylvania, hunts in our parents' property, and so we may do that, hunt archery. It's not quite rifle season yet up there; it's archery season. So I don't know. I'm still debating if I want to do that or not. So we'll see. If I do that, that's obviously I'm going to be out for a good few days. So that will slow down progress, but I don't know. I like deer. Deer's good. My wife and kids don't really like deer too much, but I definitely like it. I mean, it's not my favorite, but if you can hunt, you get that sense of accomplishment, taking down something, and providing food for your family. So kind of grew up doing that regularly. Thanksgiving was always a special holiday, just because hunting season was right there, the first Monday after Thanksgiving. So that was always a big deal. Watching football, eating a lot of food on Thanksgiving. We play Risk. If you ever played Risk, the board game, we still do. My brothers and I will sometimes get together. Family gatherings, we'll still play Risk. It's a lot of fun. It's fun just to see who's going to gang up on one another and then make somebody really mad. Why'd you attack me here? You should attack these people. Now they're going to get a match, or now they're going to get extra armies for their continent. And yeah, just too fun. Too fun. Of course, we always took it very seriously, right? Like we're trying to win and dominate the world, and yeah. So, anyways, yeah, it was Risk. Thanksgiving, hunting, watching football. Standard guy stuff, Standard things that guys are attracted to, and sometimes too much so. But yeah, so I'm kind of rambling on. This is as you can see how this is going on. So I got to bring this down here into this little, cover up this little gap here. Just a little up. Okay. It's a little dry there. So I can see I got just a little bit of white showing right here. Just a tiny bit right there. And we'll see after I finish, putting all the decals on, and see if there's any, little bit showing. I'll get a little bit of the black, and I'll probably, because it's so close, I'll probably use this and ever so slightly just kind of touch that up, or use a toothpick ever so slightly with a little bit of black. Try not to get it on the decal. I might wait until I've put a couple coats of clear sealer on it, because if you have, what I kind of call a naked decal, and you get paint on it, you're not going to get it out. But if you have some clear sealer coats on it and you get a little bit of paint on it, you can use a little bit of the paint thinner very quickly to get it off without ruining the decal. So yeah, you see little mistakes, and you'll just, or little things you've got to clean up. There's no rush. Just make sure you protect yourself, protect the decals from being compromised or ripped or whatever. All right. See a little. And this is going to have to tuck here. Or I might just cut that off. We'll see. Cut that. So yeah, you can see how there's a little bit of a gap across here too. Yeah, I should have looked at that a little bit closer before I just cut it. So definitely my fault there. I'm going to get a little of this microsole. A little bit around here. Here. And here. So hindsight 2020, when I ordered the decals for this car, I chose to remove the white. Whoa, my thumb is sticking there. I chose to remove the white because I thought this front end would just be a real pain to try to apply white decals across this front end. But, it's also a pain up here along these roof lines where you have this roof decal matching up against these side decals. So I don't know if that was the best selection. If I were to do it again, well, knowing that I've got this right here, I would probably order it with the red background removed and live with applying the white across the bottom and the sides and the front. So, I don't know. I don't want to say lesson learned, but I'm not sure. It wasn't, let's just say it wasn't a clear and obvious choice. And my phobia is always this front end. I've always wanted this front end to look nice on a car. Right here, this front end. And to me, the front end looks great. I really like the front end on this car. But along the sides and along these, along here, it's not so great. So anyways, that's kind of what when I'm working on these cars, that's kind of what I think about is, would it have been smarter to remove the other color? Especially given that, most of this car is red. But, I don't know. I did what I did, and now I kind of have to live with it, right? I've made my bed, so now I gotta sleep in it. Yeah, that's not gonna cover that gap there. Let's put this on. I don't really have a lot of wiggle room. How did that work out? Yeah, it worked out pretty good. I always try to look at this. See this Sunoco here? And these side decals? And see how it lines up with the Sunoco on the other side? I can't really move it, right? Because this piece gets wedged in here. And I don't really have much leeway to move it. But it worked out pretty good where it's really symmetrical across and top and bottom. I mean, the distance here to here and here to here is about the same. So I'm pretty happy with that. So that looks nice across the front. That doesn't look nice, but that is something I can't resolve. I mean, if I had, well, I don't even know if I would do it. If I had paint, right? I don't have this perfect matching red paint, but if I did, I would put it across here. But I don't know. It is what it is right now. Yeah. I like making customs. I don't like it when they turn out like this and I can't do anything about it. It kind of vexes my spirit. Kind of like with my daughter's car right now. I swapped out the brakes, the front brakes, put new brake pads on it, and bled the brakes, did all that, and they're the Accobono brake pads, so they're the top of the line brake pads, but she's still getting a little brake squeal. So I took them off the other day, re-greased them, so to say, put a little bit more, lubricant on the pads, on the edges of the pads where they move, and grease the caliper pins, and I'm still getting squeaks. I'm like, crap. So I'm just going to go ahead and I bought some new brake rotors. I hadn't replaced the rotors, so I'm going to replace the rotors. That's my job for tomorrow. And hopefully her brake squeals will go away. So I don't always replace the rotors. Sometimes just do the pads and good to go. But looks like if the new rotors don't solve it, then I don't know what the problem is, why it's squeaking. But that's a whole nother matter. But little things that you do that you can't seem to resolve really bothers me. So, anyways, just kind of rambling on. So this, you can see how long it takes to do that, to get that piece in there. Let's try to get this in here as my time is running out. Come on. Yeah. So I gotta get this piece on here, right along the bottom. And yeah. Put that other piece in there. So thanks guys for watching. Hope you have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.